Hey, how y'all doing? Thought I'd show what I got going on in my shop today. I was able to get me a alternator in old Leroy here. I got a light this time so you can take a look down in there. Fixed him right up. Good old Chevy 1 wire in there. And on the old 350. He buzzes along halfway decent, I guess. Gets the job done anyhow. The big thing that I just acquired is I got a new belt grinder to use on my knives. It's pretty sweet. That homemade job was flimsy as all get out and throw belts off and everything else. This dude is pretty nice. It's a ameribrade. There's our logo right there. They make a pretty good machine, I think. It's got an electric motor on it. This one here is wired for 110, which puts out 1.5 horse. And that's what I had them wired as, because that's what I have in my shop right now, is just 110. But you could have that same motor wired for 220 and it would be 2 horse. But to be honest with you, this 110 with 1.5 horse seems plenty stout enough for what I'm doing anyways. It's got cool contraptions on it. It came with this 6-inch wheel at the bottom of the flat platen, that's what I was using the last time yesterday evening there. Had the rest set up at an angle because I was doing some swedges on a pocket knife, which I'll show you here in a minute. But all this twist around and everything so you can use the big wheel or the flat pattern wheel, or you can use a small wheel if a fella want to. Of course, this rest, it can swivel around and tighten up wherever you want. And I just actually made me a little template to get this angle again because I liked how it was, and it don't have any degrees or notches or anything. You just get it where you want it and tighten it down. Anyways, one of the really cool things about it, which is how I was using it yesterday evening, loosen that job right there a little bit. The dude comes over and lays down. Of course, you can tighten it back up, keep it from bouncing around, which is heavy enough. I don't think it would. But then you got it flat and square to you for what I was doing. I was doing them swedges, and this is a whole lot stouter. Like, I can't make that plate move and everything. Whereas the other one, well, I'll show you. I was using this job and taping a thin piece of liner to it. And, I mean, you can tighten that down, but it flexes because it's only attached on that one side right there. So it was moving all the time on me. But, well, it worked for what I was doing anyways. But this dude is pretty sweet. I'm loving it so far. It's pretty easy to work with, I think. And Lord, you can do so much more with it compared to my homemade flimsy outfit I had. It's ridiculous. So I've only used it one day now, yesterday. And I can really tell it's amazing what it's capable of compared to my little homemade outfit I had. I am thrilled to death. Of course, I'm going to be eating ramen noodles a while till I pay that sucker off. You decide to start getting some machinery and whatnot, and Lord have mercy, it cost the earth. But anyways, that one was one of the cheaper ones, but it still had real good reviews, and I didn't find anything really negative about them. So that was a good deciding factor on me. Which they have a 6 to 8 week waiting period for the grinder, which that was whenever you was, well, like me, I was really needing it and wanting it. So waiting, which I had to wait 8 weeks. Boy, that was tough to do. Like, thought I'd never get it. But anyways, I'll show you what I'm working on here on this pocket knife here. There's the swedge I did on both sides there. And of course right now it's really wide there at the bottom. It don't taper out like it does at the top because I haven't ground the bevel in yet. When I grind the bevel in on the side, of course that'll thin it down dramatically because, well, that's 1/8 inch thick right there right now. That'll go down, I get it pretty close to about the thickness of a dime or a little less usually. So that'll really, well, if you can kind of, if I can hold it right, actually get it about that thick right there. If I can get there you can kind of see. That's about as thick as I get the edge, which, like I said, that's really close to about a dime thickness. So here on the bottom, that'll, whenever I get the side ground, that'll taper it in like it is at the top. Anyways, I've got this rough fit in. It'll sit in there about so. And I got the half stop where the blade sits in there fairly square, and then of course open. And which right now I'm just holding the back spring with my finger. I don't have tension on it or nothing yet because it's not heat treated. So I would actually bend the back spring if I put tension on it right now because it's still soft. The only thing that I did on it that I'm mildly disappointed with is, and it's kind of nitpicking it really, is I didn't make it quite tall enough from spine to cutting edge to go along to flow with this front finger notch. So it's kind of, like I said, I'm kind of nitpicking it, but I'm trying to make a nice looking knife. But I mean, it's going to work. I might end up grinding the top of this down just a little bit to kind of help it flow a little better. But I want to keep this back here about the height that is, because personally I think that's reasonably comfortable. But if that goes down a little bit, I think it'll still be fine. And this pattern or shape, I'll call it pattern, I'm going to be calling this shape my country gentleman. I'm going to start making them in this pattern where the handle shape and the blade shape is like this. I really like it. It's just kind of a simple design, but I think it's classy. So that's why I thought, I live in the country, so I thought, well, I'll call it the country gentleman, because it ain't an overly wild design or nothing. So actually the first knife I did in this design is a couple videos back. I got pocket knife number 32, and it's the same. It's smaller than this because this has got a 4-inch handle, whereas that was 3-inch and something. It was a lot smaller than this. This I consider a full-size pocket knife, but I like that shape. I'm doing the same shape, same blade shape and handle shape. So anyways, that's a look at that one. That's coming along pretty decent now. I still ain't cut a blade or back spring out for this one yet, which I think this is going to look pretty cool whenever, because boy, that handle material, I've contoured it around a little bit, and I really like the way that looks. That's pretty cool in my personal opinion. And for this one here, I finally got around to cutting the blade and back spring metal out. I think I actually showed that, but I hadn't did anything to them yet. So I now have the hinge, the pivot hole drilled in it, and I got a real basic shape on the blade. It might change some, but where I was doing the swedges on this one, I decided to go ahead and do one on here because, well, I was having fun using that new grinder. And this would be the same way. I got it to where it ain't going to taper 100% out up here at the spine. The way it's shaped, I mean, it comes close, but I think I'll leave it a little to where it don't taper all the way out. But down here it's thick. But again, that's where I haven't ground the blade yet, so it's full 1/8 inch thick. But when I get it ground, then it'll be This one's a healthy dime thickness probably. I'll probably actually need to thin that down just a little bit more before I'm done with it. But I kind of was putting the cart in front of the horse doing this because I still hadn't shaped the pivot area and the back spring or none of that yet. So this will probably end up needing to be shaped just a little bit more to get everything fit up. But well, Feather gets excited and he just starts making the old sparks fly. But anyways, I thought I'd show you what I've got done here in my shop, and a little update for you. And hope y'all's having a good day, and I'll talk to you later.